right, so let's get started. I would like to welcome everybody to the conference call. As you may know, Families in Schools has partnered with LAUSD, the Parent Community Service Branch, and the United Way of Greater Los Angeles to conduct community forums on the public school choice resolution. We understand that there's been different types of community forums being conducted and events conducted at the schools, and there may be a lot of questions from community leaders that are working on the ground with families and communities, and we thought it would be useful to be able to conduct a conference call to be able to share the agenda, the objectives, and more information about those community forums, and to hear any questions that people may have about the objectives and details about the meetings. So we have with us today representatives from each of the organizations. I'm Oscar Cruz, Director of Community Engagement and Advocacy at Families in Schools. We also have Christopher Downey representing the Parent Community Service Branch of LAUSD, and Sandy Mendoza from United Way of Greater Los Angeles. We have other also friends and colleagues from LAUSD that are joining the call in case they'd be able to help answer any questions that people may have. In terms of the agenda, what we'll do is that we'll have two parts. They're going to be brief, but I think very concise and to the point. The first part is going to be Chris Downing talking about the objectives, the locations, times, and about the community forums. Then we'll have a session of question and answers if there's any for that specific section, and then we'll have, I will talk briefly about the toolkit and the materials that we'll be using, and then we're going to open it up again for questions and answers at the end. I would recommend that if you can put your call on mute while the speakers are talking, that would minimize movements, and you can press *6 to mute and *6 to unmute. So now I would like to then begin the session by having Chris talk about the objectives of the sessions and more information about the upcoming community forums.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Downing, and I'm just going to run through our goals for these meetings during the month of December. And they are to provide all of our stakeholders with a better understanding of the public school choice resolution application process, to allow our parents and community a forum where they can ask questions and raise concerns about the process, and then also to develop a list of focus questions that will be asked of every group that submits an application to operate the school. So in addition to these December meetings, there will be meetings held in January where the applicants will actually come to the school site, and it's our expectation that the questions would be posed at that time. In terms of locations, first of all, we have posted a list on our website, and you can access that at www.lausd.net/parent-services. And again, so far we have 18 locations scheduled across our district. I'll just summarize very briefly and tell you in our Local District 1, we have Fulbright and Liggett. Their meetings are December 7th and December 15th. We have San Fernando Middle School in Local District 2 on December 16th. Hillcrest, Local District 3, December 17th. In Local District 4, we have 3 schools, 10th Street, December 7th, Burbank Middle School, December 17th.
Hi, my name is Shirley Ford. I'm with the Parents Union. Sorry I'm late.
No problem, Shirley. Gratz Elementary School is taking place on December 10th. In Local District 5, we have Aurora Elementary School, December 10th, Carver Middle School, December 10th, Garfield, December 15th, Jefferson, December 15th, and Lincoln, December 17th. Local District 6, we have Corona Elementary on December 16th. And continuing, we have in Local District 6, Nimitz on December 14th. Griffith Joyner in Local District 7, December 16th. Muir Middle School, Local District 7, December 14th. And then we have Gardena High School in Local District 8 on December 8th, and San Pedro High School on December 7th. Again, this information is posted on our website at www.lausd.net/parent-services. Okay, and moving on, we'd also like to explain to you the difference in these meetings and other orientation meetings that have taken place. The other orientation meetings were actually for the applicants. They were open to parents and community to come and to hear information that was being shared about the process. Again, these meetings are specifically for parents and community members to come and to learn more about the process, to receive some good information. We're providing data for each of the host schools as well as feeder schools. At these meetings, we'll be providing a brochure that provides a summary of the different types of plans that can be adopted by the schools, and we have a great facilitators packet that has been developed in collaboration with families and schools. We've done multiple trainings for facilitators. We had a training as late as yesterday. Assisting us with the facilitation will be our local district staff, and then also we're going to have representatives of PIQE at our meetings, as well as United Way and Families in Schools. So we're very pleased with this process, and again, I would be happy to answer any questions that anyone might have regarding these meetings. Okay, hearing none.
I have a question. I'm sorry. I was just waiting until everyone had spoken. And I'm sorry, I just got on the call. Will all plans actually be presented to the parents at these meetings?
No, the plans will be presented in January meetings. Again, these meetings are to summarize the process for the submittal of plans, to provide clear information about not only the process but about the resolution as a whole, and then also to form focus questions that the parents and the community would like to ask the person submitting plans.
Okay, I understand that. Thank you.
Good.
Can we ask people to identify themselves just so we know who's on the call?
Sure.
Yes, please. So if the participants could identify their name and organization they're representing.
I'm Shirley Ford, and I'm with the Parents Union.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Wendy Perez and Ofelia Medina with the Alliance for a Better Community.
Good morning, everyone. This is Jorge Haynes from the California State University Chancellor's Office.
Hello, everyone. This is David Keatsman from Youth Speak Collective.
And we have Araceli Simeo Luna and Adrián Sandoval from Malbec.
And good morning. This is Bill Ring with Transparent and member of the Parent Collaborative.
Good morning. This is Rachel Bonkowski and Antonio Plasencia from the Office of the Superintendent.
Hi, good morning. This is Elvia de la Torre from Los Angeles Education Partnership.
Hi, this is Gabriel Medez from Parents for Unity.
Thank you. So we can continue with the question and answer. Anybody have any questions regarding the meetings that you can direct to Chris?
I did have some questions. I have been working with parents in the Grass area, and as we are preparing, for the plans, part of what I saw is, the FIS packet is great. So one of the things that I did see is that there's a lot of focus on learning about the different academic indicators, in order to understand how schools are doing. But I think what I added, was information as to what's the key criteria of how plans are going to be evaluated when they come out, so that parents can start thinking, on which those factors or criteria are most important to them. And so I just wanted to see if there's been an updated version or the materials on the toolkit, what they have been. The last version that I have is like November 12th, I think, 2000.
So I will answer that question once we get to the toolkit part. So I'll hold on to that, but please remind me in case I don't address your specific question.
Okay, very good.
I have a question, and this is Shirley Ford with the Parents Union. Are we going to address exactly how the vote will take place? What process will be used for the parents to vote?
We'll be giving an overall summary of the process. I know that we're still fine-tuning that process, and we are joined by Rachel. Rachel, would you like to take a stab at that one?
Sure. I would just reiterate what you said, Chris. There is, in the documents that are up on the website, there is, some guidance around how the vote is going to take place, but we are working out a more detailed process. We hope to have that worked out over the next week or two, and we want to try, once we have it figured out, we'll get it up and posted, and probably also be looking for some feedback. So that's what I would add.
Rachel, in general, if the voting will occur, if there's more than one plan, would be to prioritize, right, to put them in order of preference?
Correct.
And if there is no, if there's only one plan, it would be a yes or no plan, a yes or no vote.
Right. I believe that's currently what's been stated, and I don't see a reason for changing that.
Okay.
Has there been, Rachel, that entity that will be helping with the actual process, identify that entity that will be helping with the administration of the vote?
Sure. Currently, I know Board Zimmer's office as well as this office has been speaking with the League of Women Voters to see if they can help us with this process, and so that's who we've been having these conversations with.
And Chris, I know this question has come up a lot in terms of how will people be identified so that they know that they can vote if they have a student there at the school. Could you mention something about that?
I would say, again, as we're finalizing the process, that will be determined. But in our district currently, in order to participate in a parent advisory committee, there's a document that school staff can pull up, and it's called a PAR, a Pupil Accounting Report, and it verifies that you are the parent. So we know that that would probably be one of the documents that would be embedded in this process.
So will each school be responsible for amending that particular portion of it, verifying the document and allowing the parent to vote?
Rachel, you want to address that one, or you want me to?
I'll take a stab at it, and you can correct me.
Okay.
Okay. We have both existing schools, the focus schools, as well as new school communities that will be voting. And so we will be working both with the schools and I would assume with demographics around the feeder schools to make sure that we have the correct rosters.
Okay, wonderful.
This is Sandy. I just want to say that we're like 10 minutes from ending the call, so I don't know if we need to kind of think about extending the call or try to make sure that we get everybody's points answered and addressed.
Are there any other calls? Any other questions?
I do have two questions in the same area. This presentation has been very specific purposely. This presentation is not to ask the parent input for the school plan. It's just for them to get informed on the process, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, okay. Second, are the parents of the feeding school participating in the voting process?
Those are about data and accountability. Parents, to count as a parent for a new school that's opening next year, if you have a child that will be attending next year, so for example, you have an 8th grader at a feeder middle school, then you count as a parent who can vote in the process.
Yeah, what about the 5th grade parent on the feeder school for the 6th school?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Well, if I have a child in elementary school this year that's going to that middle school next year, is the same situation as the new school?
Yes.
Yes.
So
is your question regarding the grade? So are you saying if the new school opening is a, or let's take a focus school. If the focus school is a high school, are you saying that the middle school, who can vote from the middle school?
Right.
He said, oh, everybody attending that middle school is basically your question.
Oh, okay. Everybody will participate.
Is that correct, Rachel?
Yes, so, and I'm just again referring to documents that are online, so you can also direct other constituents to this. But in one of the documents, parents and guardians of students attending feeder schools will also be eligible to vote.
Oh, okay. That's me.
And I have one other question for that. The elementary schools, will parents of kids that are will be starting pre-K, so will they be able to vote as well?
That's a good question that I'm going to write down.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure how that works in terms of determining those parents. But I think we should be able to figure out some sort of mechanism. But I am going to write that question down.
I would appreciate that. That's a very important question.
Thank you.
For community.
I just want to clarify, those aren't familiar.
And who am I? Is that? Are you Rachel?
I'm Rachel. Yeah.
And you are in LAUSD?
I am.
And Superintendent
Yeah.
Cortinez's office?
Yeah, and I'm just going to pause for a second because there are two other folks on the line that may also have some guidance on this, Sam or Chris. I don't know if you want to pipe in.
Yeah, Sam is.
Okay.
Oh, I was just going to clarify that generally pre-kindergarten programs are on separate campuses, so in that case they wouldn't count, but the exception is SRLDP, School Readiness Language Development Program, which is pre-kindergarten, which is generally housed in elementary schools. So the general rule, I would say, is if any family of a child who will be attending a new or focused elementary school next year would have the opportunity to vote. Is that correct, Rachel?
If that sounds reasonable, for me it's just the logistics of figuring out. I think we can figure that out. So I would say we're writing down the question. I think we understand what it is, and we'll do what we can to figure out a way to make that happen.
Right.
Okay, thank you. I think that's
Okay,
fair.
moving towards the toolkit part of the agenda, what I wanted to mention is that the toolkit was developed in collaboration with LAUSD and funded by the California Community Foundation. The toolkit can be accessed online at www.educationadvocacy.wordpress.com. You can also email me, and I will send you the direct link at ocruz@familiesinschools.org. What I would say about the toolkit is that when we've been training the facilitators on the whole toolkit, the time that it takes to go through the whole material is not will not be sufficient, or is just that the way that the community forums that will be being held will not cover every specific slide of the toolkit. What we are focusing on is on trying to get parents to understand how they can participate in the process, but most importantly, to start thinking about what are the questions that they would like to ask when they go into those meetings in January. Well, they'll have the opportunity to evaluate and assess the school plans being submitted. So even though when you download and see all the material that is in the toolkit, we felt that for a community, a large community meeting, that probably will have around 2 hours to be with them, that most of the time is going to be spent on trying to, supplement the elements of the resolution, how the parents are going to, and then how they're going to start thinking about key questions to ask. In terms of the criteria and how the plans will be evaluated internally, I think we can make those resources available as a handout that they can take. But we're very concerned that in a period of 2 hours, we'll not be able to cover everything, and that it does require additional meetings that I think that other nonprofits like you can hold with them on a specific topics, such as, for example, the criteria, if you think that that's going to be important for them. But in terms of the toolkit, again, the material is comprehensive, but for the purpose of the upcoming community forums that we're conducting in partnership with LAUSD and United Way, it's going to focus mostly on the key elements of the resolution, how parents can get involved, and the key questions that they should start thinking about, or that they're going to be brainstorming in those meetings about asking when they have to evaluate any school plan presented to them. There's a very brief summary of that. Are there any questions regarding the toolkit or, again, the overall community forums?
Does this answer your question, Araceli?
It does. I still have another question, because part of what ideally I would want, or in working with the parents, is that I wanted to see more outcomes of these meetings and just information. So, for example, one idea is, I know that those evaluation teams, that every school that has plans is going to have 2 evaluations. So I think what could come out of this meeting, too, or these meetings that are going to be happening is, list of parents that would like to be considered to be part of those teams that are going to be evaluating the plans in more depth, so that there's, open, I guess, more of an open process to be part of that process. I understand the teams haven't been selected, right?
They're in process of being selected. And I think because of the timeline, the superintendent would like to have the teams selected over the next week or two. What we've been, I think on the one hand, all parents are going to, or, all parents that are involved vis-a-vis their students are going to have a chance to have their voice heard through the advisory vote. If there are particular names of parents that you think would, be good to help as readers, I wonder if we can figure out a way to have those names come into this office sooner rather than later. Chris, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
No, I agree with you. And Araceli, did you have some people in mind?
Yeah, particularly for one school and maybe a couple others. So I will be submitting those.
Okay, very good.
That's great.
Rachel, how many readers do you actually need?
That's a great question. And I'm not sure that I have a clear answer. We've batted around a couple of different numbers, so maybe I can get back to you on that.
That would be great. So we could see how we could balance the team, with the right sets of experts on community people. On the team.
So I'm sorry, I have a question. This is Shirley from the Parents Union. Is there an application process for nonprofits to be a part of the teams of presenting to the parents? Or is it just all nonprofits that are working with parents in the community? Are they just hosting their own meetings separate from the regular meetings that you have set up already to host, to inform the parents of the different plans?
Well, we had some initial trainings with families in schools at the Chamber of Commerce. We've also conducted some additional trainings with, local district staff members. If you're interested, just send us an email. You can send it to christopher.downing@lausd.net. And also, Oscar sent out an invitation, so copy Oscar and Sandy Mendoza. And we'll give you a call.
All right, thank you.
Okay, because we're looking for as many participants as possible.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oscar, I have a question for you. With this new version, as you say, and the focus of the presentation, do you think that it's possible to do it in 30 minutes?
No, I don't think we can do it in 30 minutes. Now, the version of the PowerPoint that is online is the most comprehensive. Basically, that includes everything.
Yeah.
The version that the facilitator will be using for these upcoming community forums, we've cut some slides that we think could be a little bit redundant or maybe, too much detail. Because, again, our concern is that in a period of 2 hours, all that information there is not going to be possible to be given. So the facilitators will have almost a brief version of the comprehensive version that is on the online.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to let folks know, from Rachel and Antonio, we need to hop off and go into another meeting.
Thank you, Rachel and Antonio. We appreciate your participation. And unless there's any other questions for Chris, myself, or Sandy, I think that we can also end this call.
But before you guys go, when can we have the answers come back so we could post them? Do you think it's reasonable?
The couple of questions I wrote down, Sandy, at the very least, I'll touch base with you on Monday and let you know where I'm at with them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Great.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thanks to everybody who participated. If you sent me your email, what we're going to do is that as we have answers, for example, to these questions, we use that list of people who attended this call to be able to distribute information.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for participating.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.